Okay, yep, that's fine. Okay.
We are live.
Yeah, we're live. All right. All right. Hey, Eva. Hey, Aaron. How you guys doing?
Guys.
Doing good.
Everybody's looking real chipper and nice. Working from home.
Yeah.
You know, the top of the camera, the shirt, everything looks nice.
Yeah, don't look at what's on the bottom.
Not gonna ask about the PJs everybody's wearing, or that I'm wearing. Right.
Or the shorts that I have on. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well. Hey, man, we are super glad you're taking some time out to meet with us, Aaron. We got to know you a little bit in the last couple of weeks, and we've been super impressed with the numbers that you're hitting. And we'd love to just kind of dive right in and hear your story about drop shipping and how you got to the status that you're currently at with your sales of just around 200K a month, which I think is really impressive. And then maybe some of the tips and secrets that you're willing to share. We're pretty, even I like to share as much as possible. Honestly, we really don't hide anything, but we're always learning. There's always different ways to do it. So with that, why don't we just start with your background, Aaron? What were you doing and how did you get into e-commerce and how did you stumble into drop shipping?
Got it. So for the longest time, it was actually since I was 18. So about 13 years now, I wanted to find a business and make money and not work a ton. I went to an Amway meeting when I was like 18 or 17 and a half or 18.
I remember that. Right.
And that's what, a lot of people I think that kind of, do things online kind of start off in MLMs.
Yeah.
All right.
And it was the first time my mind was open to the idea that, oh, you can actually make money and not have a job.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds kind of simple to us because, we got YouTube and, advertisements all over the place. But back then, everyone I knew had a job. Right? Mom and dad did, the neighbors did, the teachers did. So it wasn't even kind of in my head that it was possible to make money and not have a job.
Mm-hmm.
So to condense like 8 years of stuff, I basically tried a bunch of things. I didn't make any money. I jumped around from MLMs to MLMs. I tried vacuum cleaners and, I just tried all these things and it wasn't working out. And everyone was thinking I was crazy. I guess they were right because I was chasing these dreams that weren't a reality. But I just didn't want to give up because I really wanted to make money and not have to work 40, 50 hours a week for someone.
Mm-hmm.
So about 3.5 years ago, I found a way to basically make money selling cell phones, buying and selling cell phones. And that actually ended up being successful. I started making money with that. I was able to quit my job. But the issue I ran into was, in order for me to make money with that, I had to be there physically doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with other industries, right? A real estate agent can make 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, what platform were you selling the cell phones on?
eBay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so I was basically buying them from people in my area on like Craigslist and then selling them on eBay.
Right.
So, and I ran into a different problem because the problem I had for like 8 or 9 years was I just need to make money and not have a job.
Right.
But then I ran into another problem which was my mindset started to shift to like, what happens if I do something and it actually works and I make money with it? Will I be happy with how my life kind of situation will be in that circumstance? I've actually talked to other people that, they have their own business and they're making good money, but they're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. So they don't really have the time as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I got attracted to the idea of drop shipping on Amazon because it was scalable, but also you could hire team members. We call them virtual assistants, right?
Right.
But you could hire team members to help run different parts of the store. So we don't have to actually be there doing all the legwork.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
It's similar to, I compare it to McDonald's, right? The McDonald's owner, and I've read a lot of forums on McDonald's, the owner might work 5, 10, 15 hours a week,
Right.
but he's overseeing it. He's not there flipping the burgers and cleaning and taking the orders. He has a team in place, so it allows them to have kind of residual or semi, not fully automated, but maybe semi, automated income. So I got into drop shipping about a year and a half ago, coming close on 2 years now. They say you got to pay to play, right? So I basically paid over $20,000 to learn all this stuff. And the first 6 months, it was just up and down. Like, even though I paid a bunch of money, we were trying out different things and it wasn't working out.
Aaron, I'm going to jump in really quick. You paid, what did you pay? Like, were these courses or was this inventory? Like, where did that 20,000 expense come from?
So I paid over 21,000 to kind of a mentor.
Okay.
Kind of set me up.
Okay. All right.
I still had to do a lot of things myself. I've dramatically improved and kind of tweaked a lot of the things and made connections with the people that I've had. But it was just to get me started.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So the first 6 months, and basically he kind of guided me for about 6 months. And after the 6 months, I was kind of on my own. Which is actually not too, even though there's better ways to do it on Amazon now, but that's not too uncommon in the real world, right? You open up a restaurant, pay someone 30 grand to help you kind of figure out the structure of the restaurant. And then he leaves you, right? That's not too of an uncommon thing.
And relatively speaking, 20 grand is not that much to learn $1 million business.
Exactly.
If you went to, McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts and says, hey, can I pay you 20 grand to learn how your franchise works? They'd laugh you out the door, right?
Exactly.
So it's not that much.
No.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm averaging now in profit, the monthly profit that the average McDonald's makes. And the start of a McDonald's, you got to give them a $45,000 franchise fee.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Yeah.
For McDonald's. That's just a franchise fee. That's not even anything else. It's just, hey, here's 45 grand. I'm willing to pay. So no, it's
so you said something super interesting, man. You said you're making roughly what a McDonald's franchise makes.
Yep.
Are you talking sales or what are you talking about? That can't be sales.
No. So the average McDonald's does around 2.6 million in sales. Their profit margin, the average McDonald's owner takes home about $150,000 a year in net profit after all expenses. They got to pay McDonald's.
Wow.
That's employees and all that stuff.
That is nothing, man. 150K. I mean, I'm not trying to belittle, numbers here of McDonald's owners, but all that work and the massive operation that it takes to run a franchise, and at the end of the year, you're taking home 150K.
Yeah.
And
the risk reward doesn't quite seem appropriate to me over there, Although long term, I mean, the business is going to be there forever, it's McDonald's. Yeah. Wow. So compare that to where you jumped into Amazon dropshipping, where your risk was 20K. I mean, that's pretty darn good.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is just Aaron theory, but I think that successful people, I try to overspend, even if I have to get to get assets and grow.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that, this is just my theory, but I think people that, they'll overpay for liabilities and underpay for assets.
Right. So you got into Amazon dropshipping, learned under a mentor for a few months, 6 months, and then how did you go from, your first sales to 10K, 20K? Kind of walk us through your journey to where you are now.
So after about 6 months, to be honest with you, I wasn't like this month, I made about $1,000 in profit. So I still wasn't making that much money. So I said, all right, I was kind of already involved in the business, but I said, the guy set me up. He gave me the foundation and it was great. And I would have done it again if I had to do it again. But I said, all right, I need to kind of really understand how this business works so I can try to solve problems, because the essence of being successful is problem solving. So
where's my problem solving cup? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll share that with you in a minute.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I might have to figure out how to buy one of those.
Yeah.
So I basically, I started really understanding and getting into all the aspects of the business. And one of the things we did is we transitioned from the software company to AMZ Scraper, which is, great software. They're going to become RoboDrop.
Yeah.
And that really helped out a lot because that software allowed us to instantly start finding consistently profitable items. Before that, we were just kind of doing manual research, which was not effective at all.
You want to take 10 seconds and explain what AMZ Scraper is?
So AMZ Scraper does two things. The first thing it does is it's a complete repricer, and it handles everything from out of stock items to change of price items, and it will adjust your stock accordingly. And the second thing it does is it will basically, you could find someone that's drop shipping on Amazon, they got 2,000 products, you could plug their information in the AMZ Scraper, and it'll basically sort their items by what they believe is the most profitable items. And you can just kind of select those items that are profitable and list them on your store, essentially.
Yeah. We love AMZ Scraper. We use it. We've talked about it before. And for anybody new, this is one of the big secrets of how to scale. And as Aaron said, how to automate, get yourself out of the business, because this software automates a lot of that stuff. And we're probably going to have Jamie or somebody from AMZ Scraper on in a few weeks, just FYI.
Nice.
Yeah, but glad to hear you like it too.
Yes. So we transitioned over to that software, and that first month we transitioned, I did about $4,500 in profit. So I was like, all right, this is good, right?
It's working.
And then over the next year, it was just really understanding the business, putting scripts in place to handle different customer service scenarios, making connections with other people, to be more competitive on price. I think more long-term now, which I'm happy to go into, where I'm like, I care about the overall longevity of the store's account health.
Yeah.
So there's certain situations where I will, give little bits of money to customers with the goal of keeping the account healthy or the ODR low.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a nice system in place. And what I realized is we had virtual assistants, but the virtual assistants, when I have a job, right, I used to push carts at Walmart for like $8.10 an hour. So my job was just to give Walmart my time. And Walmart told me, all right, these are how you push the carts. This is where you put the carts, but they kind of gave me a routine to follow.
Right.
So with virtual assistants, that's kind of the same thing with them. It's my job to put the systems in place and put the scripts in place. It's their job just to kind of execute it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think this year, like one of the things is customer service. So, the customer service rep, she's from the Philippines. She speaks broken English. Her customer service was horrible with broken English. We used to get complaints all the time that, I'm talking to a foreigner, which she was.
Right. Right.
But over about a 6-month period, I really sat down and coached her, and she speaks perfect customer service. I mean, she even does LOLs when it's appropriate. She's unbelievably calibrated.
Awesome.
She'll be like, sorry, I just had a brain fart. Here's the tracking number.
Oh, that's
Right. Yeah. Learning those little American euphemisms is super critical, right? Like saying brain fart, not I had a brain shit or something.
Right.
Those little things give it away, right? Yeah.
Yes. So now it's so now the store is doing good. I mean, the last month I did about $14,000 in profit.
Awesome.
The month before that I did about $14,000 in profit.
Yeah.
The 3 months before that I did about $10,000 in profit. And this is after all expenses. I count my profit after paying for inventory, paying for AZ claims, VAs, everything.
right.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So let's talk about your numbers really quick. So your sales is currently roughly around the 200K per month mark, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I could pull it up too. I've done about 12,000 today so far.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And then you're pulling about 14K profit. That's gross profit. No, you said that's actually net. That's net, right?
net.
That's after all your expenses, your
Yes.
VA expenses. Well, that's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good.
Every single expense.
Yeah. So let's there's a couple of key success factors in there that you've mentioned, right? So as new sellers are looking into this, what would you say are the most important things that you had to learn in order to get to this point where it's stable, you're selling, you're making profit, etc. Like, what are those top 3 things that, you wish they had told you on day one?
Wow. Naeem asked good questions. That would be the top 3 things I wish they taught me on day one. Was the first thing is a general thing that I learned from, that I watched from that Kevin O'Leary guy, the Shark Tank guy.
Hmm.
He says success from a lot of businesses he's seen, it starts out where it's kind of struggling, and then it reaches a point where it takes off pretty quickly. And I think the reason for that is enough problems get solved and skill sets get increased to the point where the market rewards you with massive amounts of money. And it's it's at that point that business takes off.
Mm-hmm.
So I think understanding from the beginning that maybe the first couple months or few months, I'm not going to see results that I want, but not to get discouraged.
Right.
That would have helped my mindset more.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, just to add to that. So, one of the big perceptions that internet marketers present and sellers consume is, hey man, 90 days, like I should see profit and I should make money and this and that, right? And you're kind of giving the dose of reality, which is what Eva and I share, which is, think of this as a business. This is not an internet marketing funnel or a system that your first 30 days or 60 days, you might make one sale, but we tell people don't think about making money for the first 90 days, 120 days, long term. And you said it earlier, you're trying to build this as a scalable long-term business that's sustaining you and your family, etc. Right? So it's nice to hear that you're echoing that.
Exactly.
Yes. And that's I've had other people actually ask to do interviews, and you're the only ones I wanted to do it with because, other people, I'm not here to start any drama, but some people are out there pitching get rich quick, and
Don't.
We will send you a $200 check after this interview for your time and for selecting us. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. All right. So number 2.
Number 2 is you do have to be able to finding consistent profitable items to list with ease is important.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I would say, and like Naeem and Eva mentioned, AMZ Scraper is great for that. But anyway, having a way to be able, I got over 8,000 products listed in the store that we're drop shipping. So always being able to, because we might find a profitable item today, it might go, the supplier might stop carrying it. People might make the price go down. So it's being able to consistently find profitable items is important.
Yeah. We call that feeding the beast. Keep feeding the beast.
Wow. I like that. Feeding the beast. Yes. Keep feeding the beast.
You can't stop feeding the beast. Yeah.
Then the number 3 thing would be, it would be handling the different parts of the store correctly. So, making sure we're responding to customers on time, getting items shipped on time, kind of the, maybe the mechanical part of it, but kind of the
Logistics.
Thank you. Logistics. Yeah, the logistics of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then also thinking about the long-term health. So what I did in the beginning is I wanted to make money on every single item. And if I lost $5 or $10 on an item, I'd be freaking out.
All right.
Now what I'll do is, and I just started doing this the last few months, and it's helped dramatically. Like my ODR is now at 0.33%, which is not too bad.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So one of the things I do now is I set a budget aside in my head of about $300 to $500 a month, where in certain situations, I'll give customers partial refunds. I'll write them checks, because you can't do partial refunds generally in Seller Central.
Right.
But $10 to $20, let's say we're out of stock of an item, I can't get it fulfilled, the customer's really upset, I'll send them a nice little thing and I'll say, hey, on top of that, customer service is very important to us. In situations like this, we're able to offer a $10 partial refund because we don't want there to be any bad blood between us.
Right.
Would it be okay if we did that for you?
Mhm.
Or if we like, just situations like that where it'll help reduce negative feedbacks.
Right.
And certain even if customers say they didn't get items, even if the tracking shows it's Amazon, even if the tracking they did, it doesn't matter. If it's higher in items, I'll fight it. And I can sometimes win it I can sometimes get the customer to admit that they found it.
Right.
But if it's a lower end item, like my VA hit me up yesterday and she's like, Aaron, this customer says they didn't get the item, even though the tracking shows it delivered. They're very adamant on it. It's a $29 item from the supplier. I'm like, just refund them. I don't even want to risk it. Just
exactly.
refund them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And I factor that into my profit too. So even after all that, I'm still making profit. But little things like that, it's kind of preventative things. I'm massively proactive with trying to prevent bad things from happening in the store. From giving partial refunds to we don't even upload items right away. I have 2 people that look at products before we upload items. So I think the percentage of items we upload that are off or around it's 1 out of around 200 to 300. It's unbelievably low because I run it through a series. So it's trying to be massively proactive and prevent problems from happening before they happen.
Awesome.
Smart.
Awesome. So we've got somebody that's asking, Aaron, please share your VA management systems and templates. So can you talk a little bit about, we've talked about AMZ Scraper as a price and inventory management system. What other tools are you using? And generally speaking, how are you managing your VAs? How do you have successful VAs?
So the VA management systems is just AMZ Scraper. That's the only tool that we use. There's nothing else that's needed. Managing VAs is, so people aren't going to like this answer, but I guess with you guys, it's you guys tell people the truth. Your audience probably might be the only audience that actually wants the truth because they want to be successful and they think long term.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I can't teach someone to do something I haven't done myself.
Yes.
I don't know how to play the guitar. So if I hired, if I hired Eva and I said, Eva, play the guitar, and Eva's like, I don't know how to play the guitar. And then I get mad at Eva. Eva's like, it's not my fault. I told you
I don't play the guitar.
Right. You told me she didn't play the guitar.
You should have tested me.
I should have tested her. So what I need to do is I need to do it first. So I made sure that I got real good at all the different aspects of the business so I could coach the VAs. And when they had problems, they're going to have problems. I know exactly. I can answer any single problem that comes up now.
Exactly.
Right.
So I would say I do it first. And then once I do it first, I can teach others how to do it. And then I can watch them to make sure they do it because I know what needs to be done. And then if there's issues, I can coach them. And that's what I found works good for me.
Yeah. And that's actually, that's the same system that we use and we teach our students, which is master it. And after you've mastered it, outsource it, because a VA that's been doing sourcing for 18 months, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, for 18 months, they're going to always source much faster than you. They will always outperform you. And so get those specialists in place, but understand what the heck they're doing. So when they tell you that they can source 2 products an hour versus 10 an hour, you know the reality. You know the performance levels and what they actually should be doing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk about a little bit about the profit breakdown. So one of the things that new sellers need to understand is the profit is not just from selling the product, right? That's the front end profit, but then you've got the back end profit with the cashback and the gift cards and all that. So talk about that a little bit. How do you make sure that you get the most profit possible?
It's a very, very good question. That's an unbelievably good question. That it's important that, I think people should understand.
Yeah.
So the first is the front end, which is basically I sell the item on Amazon. I buy it from the supplier. One of the ones I use is Walmart. So I buy it, sell it on Amazon for $100. I buy it on Walmart for $75. Amazon gets 15%. So Amazon gets, basically when everything's said and done, I make, what's that? $10?
Yeah.
Yeah, $10. So that's the front end. Then there's stuff that happens afterwards that we can use to make money. We can use gift cards, like Naeem pointed out, where you can use gift cards. If you can get gift cards, you can get items cheaper. So maybe you get a gift card at like, maybe I get a Walmart gift card at 5% off. I get a $100 Walmart gift card at 5% off, and I buy that item from Walmart, and I'm getting 5% off the item.
Right.
And it's not just gift cards. You can use credit cards. There's credit cards. You can get 1.5%, maybe 2% cash back. Walmart has a credit card themselves where you get 5% cash back if you use Walmart's credit card. So, and that's really the extent of that part of it. But it's gift cards and being able to get the items cheaper to make profit, or being able to list items cheaper on the store. Then there's back-end stuff. So two of the back-end things that I use is one of them's cashback, or not cashback sites. Yeah. Cashback.
Yep.
So cashback sites are where you go to a site, and then inside the site, you go to like Walmart.com inside the site. And then when you buy the item, basically through the cashback site, after a few months, the cashback site will give you some money back from buying the item through their site. Cashback sites are great because they're completely free to sign up for, at least the ones I've seen. And there's no risk with it, and they're just like extra free money. So for all the items we buy in our store, we get a 0.5% to 1%, if not more, minimum on the back end. So that item I bought from Walmart for $75, I'll get 0.5% of that. So whatever 0.5% of $75 is, that cashback site will give me 0.5% of that sale. Free money. It's just free money. It usually takes them a few months to give it to you.
It's 90 days, yeah.
Yeah, 90 days. Yeah. But that can be good too.
I love receiving those payouts. That's for sure.
Yeah, because it's just like free money, right?
Yeah.
It is free money. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of that adds up. And what people don't realize is that, because, we're talking 1% or 2%, right? It doesn't sound like a lot, but the fact is that those 1% add up significantly over time. So if you can take your profit margin from 5% on a product with the back end tied in to now 8% or 10% and repeat that, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So most people don't realize that, corporate America only makes 6 to 7% in profit. All those big multi-billion-dollar companies, that's how much they pull in. And we're doing this on obviously a much smaller scale, but we're able to, in many times, beat that average industry profit of 6-7% by pulling in 10-12%. I'll take that all day long.
Me too, and have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, Aaron. Let's talk about 2021 and where you're going with your business. How are you feeling about drop shipping, and do you have any plans to scale? Are you playing around with any other platforms? What are you going to be focusing on this year?
So I'm a big component of focusing on one thing, getting really, really good at it. That way I'm not spreading myself thin, because I need to, really figure it out to get the skill sets. So for 2021, one of my problems now is running out of money, like to fund the business. I would that's a problem. So I'm proactively working on fixing that problem, right? Working on getting my credit and all sorts of stuff.
Right.
But it's drop shipping in 2021 definitely works. I mean, it definitely works when you know what you're doing. If you're connected with the right people, if you have the right mentors helping you out, it definitely 100% works. So it is, for me, it's just continuing to drop ship, continuing to get better, thinking about looking into Walmart. I've actually applied to Walmart, on their platform.
Right. You don't think we're saturated? You don't think it's too late to get into drop shipping? Because I'm sure you've heard that.
One of my biggest regrets, to be honest with you, is it took me 2 years to get into drop shipping. I saw other people doing it, and I saw the screenshots they posted, but for some reason I thought it was possible for them. I just didn't think it was possible for me.
Right.
Because for me, the only way to make money was to grind it out, whether having a job or that phone thing.
Right.
So like, no, I work about 45 minutes a day now. So I work about 45 minutes a day because I have the team of VAs and the systems in place. And I made $1,000 a day in profit before I woke up. I can show you guys my sales I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your screen. Pull it up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at
12.61K.
Just in one day.
Yeah, last 30 days, 215K. Pretty sweet, man.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and the
about-
money's working for you while you're sleeping,
Mhm.
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Money's working while I'm sleeping. So I didn't think it was possible for me to make this money. So it took me 2 years to get started. What I know now is if you have a desire to make this business work and you're willing to stick with it
Yeah.
and you're willing to listen to what Eva and Naeem talk about, where I think what you guys say is great. Don't even plan on making money for the first 3 to 4 months and really have a business mindset.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like, I don't know. I just compare it to McDonald's. McDonald's, even after you give them all that money, you have to go through a 12 to 18 month training program before you're even able to get your store.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Easy,
And
right?
Naeem and Ava are saying just 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 months.
Right.
So as long as you have a mindset like that and you're willing to think of it as a long-term business, you can definitely make money. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not able to make guarantees, but I can guarantee anyone that if you go through if you connect with the right people and you take the right actions and you stay with it and you solve enough problems, you can definitely make this business work, because I'm in the business and I can see I understand it, and there's definitely room for a lot more people to get into it, just because there's so many different items to drop ship.
Exactly.
And it's growing.
A million items or something. I mean,
And it's growing.
Right. And I mean, what
Right.
it last year taught us is that there is lots of room to grow. That's really
Right.
taught us, and buyers' habits have changed as well because of the pandemic. So
Yeah.
more
Everybody's
people-
sitting at home.
more
Yep.
people are shopping on Amazon or any other e-commerce platform, but Amazon is always going to be the
So we got a question from Ryan Moody I'm going to throw up, but just before we do that, we're probably going to wrap up in another few minutes. So those of you guys watching, there's 19 folks watching right now. A lot more will watch later. If you have questions, go ahead and throw them in there now. Let's pepper Aaron with any questions that you've got, and then we're going to wrap up in a few minutes. So Ryan Moody is asking, hey, Aaron, how do you brand the orders and prevent the buyer from seeing the receipt with your name on it and the real price that you paid? So when the invoice is shipped with the product, how do you deal with that?
that's a great question, Ryan.
It is.
So most of the items that ship actually don't have invoices in them.
Mhm.
We don't even have to do anything special.
Yeah.
Most of the items don't have invoices in them. They just arrive in a box. The items in a box. So the customer is getting exactly what they want. In the rare situation, for me, it's maybe 0.1%. It's unbelievably rare where they do put the invoice in the box. We say that we're a small family-run business. Customer service is very important to us. And because of that, if we're out of stock of the item from our warehouse, we have partnerships with a couple other companies like Walmart and Home Depot, and we'll buy the item from them to make sure the item gets to the customer.
Mhm.
And then at that point, I'm willing to, I'll tell them, I'm sorry about the receipt. I'm happy to, at that point, I'll give them a $20 partial refund to,
Mhm.
make them happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, we say the exact same thing, which is perfect. Always put yourself in that customer's
Yeah.
shoes, right? So
Yes.
perfect answer, man. We say the exact same thing, and you're right. It's very, very few. It's incredible how people just don't care, right? Like, hey, I want my Barbie playset. I don't really care where it comes from. I just want it, right?
As long as it's around.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And
All
they're
right,
getting
we have-
exactly what they want.
They get what they want, yeah, and they really don't complain. Yeah. Okay, question. How do you do accounting and reconciliation for payments?
How do you do accounting
For reconciliation, it's a little generic, a little bit of a generic question. How do you do accounting and reconciliation for pay? I guess, how do you make sure that you're getting the payments that you're supposed to get?
Right.
I think is
Or
how I'm
maybe
reading this.
more of Sonia type of question, like accounting and cost of goods and credit cards, and how do you manage how the accounting is working together? Maybe that's the question, perhaps.
So I'm using TaxJar to kind of keep track of all the sales.
Right.
Mhm.
Even though inside Amazon, they have reports. Amazon's got reports for everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you can hit a couple buttons and you could pull it all up for tax purposes. And then I have Google Sheets that keep track of all the
We do too.
a lot of Google Sheets that keep
Yeah.
Google
love
Sheets.
our,
You can make formulas for everything in Google Sheets too.
oh yeah.
You gotta
We
get-
love our Google Sheets.
yeah, Google Sheets are really nice.
We loved
Yeah.
Google Sheets a couple of years ago. So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just
And you got a bookkeeper?
yes, or I guess an accountant that she helps me manage everything and make sure
Right.
the taxes are getting
Right.
paid and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Okay, cool. My good buddy Sarfraz from India. Good to see you and hear from you. How do you get large retailers such as Target to blind drop ship?
So I don't drop ship from Target personally. I just drop ship from Home Depot and Walmart. And I don't know how I'm not sure.
Yeah, there really is no blind drop shipping from any retailer that we know of.
Retailer. So I don't.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is, Surprise, I think what you're asking is, how do you hide the brand, right? But whether it's Walmart or Target, we don't. The
Nope.
customer will get the Walmart box or the Target box or the Home Depot box. And like Aaron was saying, they don't really care, man. Like 99.9% of them don't care. You do get the one Karen, that'll call you up and say, what the heck is it? And you're like, hey, here's a refund. And end of story.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really an issue.
Mm-mm.
Awesome. All right, man, we're going to go ahead and close the call off. Last question for you, Aaron. If there's somebody sitting out there, a soccer mom, soccer dad, and going, hey, I want to get into this business, but I'm not sure. Like you said, you thought, I don't know if this business was right or not, et cetera. What advice would you give somebody who's sitting on the fence about Amazon dropshipping?
I would tell them that I understand how they feel. I felt the same way. Because in every business I started, every business I got into, I never thought it was possible to be successful.
Mm.
What I found, though, is you just sometimes have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Taking a leap of faith. Because I know for me, if I keep doing what I've always done, I'll keep getting the same results.
Yes.
So even though spending that 21 grand, and I know to work with you guys is a lot less, but to spend that 21 grand made me really nervous. The uncertainty of it made me really nervous. Everything made me nervous. It was just that, I guess to wrap it up, that Gary Vaynerchuk guy talks about that if you go to nursing homes, he goes, you should go to nursing homes and visit older people. And one of the things you'll find is a lot of them they talk about all the regrets they have, all the things they wish they didn't do. And at that point in your life, it's kind of too late to do anything. And I think what a lot of people do is, and it's going to sound cliche, but I think they play life too safe and they don't really take any, you shouldn't take dumb risks, but they don't take any blind, calculated risks. Trying to play it safe and they don't live to their full potential. They realize that at the end of their life and then they can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what motivates me to take action and to move forward on things that I'm sitting on the sideline of, that I kind of get a feeling in my gut that this is something I should pursue further. This is something I think I need to try out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, that's powerful, man. I didn't expect a little bit of philosophy there, but I couldn't agree more. And I think Eva agrees with that too. I think that's really powerful. Most of us sit there and we're too scared. And those of us that decide, hey, let's just jump in, calculated risk, right? Don't jump in blind, calculated risk. And all of a sudden you go from 0 to $1,000 in sales, and then 10. Then it's a matter of just scaling up. So super awesome. You remember I mentioned earlier, and we'll end with this. We talked about problem solving and what we CEOs do for. So I had this cup put together. Being a CEO is easy. It's like riding a bike, except the bike is on fire. You're on fire. Everything's on fire.
And ever since Naeem put that up together, we've been on fire.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have to put Zen one together next time.
Yeah, there you go. But I think that's our job, right, Aaron? Is we problem solve. We normalize the systems. We make sure our VAs are running a tight ship, and whatever comes up, it's our job to take care of it and scale and build a business.
Yep.
Oh, 100%. Would agree with that. 100%.
Awesome. Thanks again, brother. Appreciate it. And you know what? I'm going to send you out one of these cups. I think you'll appreciate it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'll send that out to you. All right. Hey, thanks again, man. Really, really appreciate it. And we will catch you in another episode, maybe in a month from now, 2 months from now. We'd love to revisit and see how things are going.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Bring me on, guys.
All right. Have a great day. Take care, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.